The state of the world. In the 85th year of the rule of the Khans descended from Kublai Khan, the first great Khan and founding emperor of the eternal Mongol Empire of the Great Yuan. Part 1. 1. Border of the kingdoms of Zhu Yuanzhang and the Zhang family. 8th month, 1356. Surely, it requires no extended consideration, the woman's voice said from behind the stirring gauze curtain of the carriage. Why not give me your answer now, Zhu Yuanzhang, and save us both the time? Even here, far from the sea, the plain beneath the carriage's hilltop vantage point blazed white with salt, as though the wealth of the woman's kingdom overflowed without restraint. The hot tiger tail of the southern summer had vanished the shallow lake that usually lay here on the border between the two territories. Above their armies, quickening flags dashed colored reflections onto the expanse. Yellow, for the rebel army of the Radiant King. Green, for the Zhang merchant family, the former loyalists of the Empire of the Great Yuan, who had finally broken with their Mongol rulers that spring and proclaimed their rule over the salt and shipping lanes of the eastern seaboard. Zhu Yuanzhang, her golden king's armor and gilded wooden hand matching the color of the grass under her horse's hooves, saw the generals of the opposing armies walking towards each other with deliberate courtesy. Their small noonday shadows sliced over the shattering crust beneath their boots. To the casual eye, there was little between the two generals to set them apart. 2 winged helmets in the Nanzhen style, 2 sets of lamellar armor with the dark leather taking in the sun, and the metal lion's head bosses on their shoulders, sending it flashing back like mirror signals. But to Zhu, whose general was her brother in all but blood, their distant shapes were as easily distinguished as 2 faces. There was Xu Da's unmonkishly tall frame, his joyful stride that of a younger man eager to taste the world. The other, General Zhang, of lesser height and build, but carrying himself with the reserved confidence of a man with the life experience of Zhu and her general put together. Zhu knew just how quickly General Zhang had moved after his family's separation from the Yuan. In the space of a few months, he had taken all the remaining cities along the southern reaches of the Grand Canal and moved the Zhang family's capital to walled Pingjiang on the eastern shore of Lake Tai. Now, all that separated the Zhangs in the east from Zhu's own kingdom in the west was a stretch of flatlands in the curve of the mighty Yangtze River as it wound its way to the sea. "Surrender to me," said the woman behind the curtain. Her voice had a throaty quality, low and flirtatious. It was a voice for a closed room, velveted with suggestion, that though they were strangers who had only just met, perhaps they were moments from becoming as known to each other as 2 bodies could be. It was one of those tactics that worked only as long as the calculation underneath it remained unseen. Zhu, who not only saw it, but also considered herself generally immune to the urges of physical desire, was interested to feel a mild tug in response. As someone lacking in femininity herself, it had never occurred to her that it could be weaponized. The novelty of having it wielded against herself amused and impressed her in almost equal measure. On the plain, the 2 generals inclined their heads in respect, conveyed and received the formal message of surrender, and withdrew. Their tracks lay bruised blue behind them. Zhu finally turned to her interlocutor. "Greetings to the esteemed Madame Zhang." "I see you refuse my title," the woman said archly. "Why shouldn't I, when you refuse mine?" Zhu returned. The snap of words sent a current of vitality through her. It was the delight of power mixed with play, as thrilling to her as the tang of brine in her nose and the hot, wild wind that snapped her banners and sent the grass rushing and leaping down the hillsides. In a tone of matching archness, she added, Perhaps my surrender is better given to he who holds